Again, my name is Jimmy Davies. I think I know everyone. If not, then that's who I am. And I want to welcome you to this planning session, updating session about the Dr. Joel Dudley Senior Legacy Project, which I think almost everyone on here has been a part of in some way. And what we try to do about once a month is just keep people in the know of the progress and where we are, and also to organize to help us all synergize to help move this project along and to move it forward. So first of all, I want to thank you again for being here on a Sunday evening. We start on time and we try to keep it brief and to the point. So this is going to give you, we want to give you some information about this. And so the first thing we always do is start off with some housekeeping to let you know that this is being recorded. And so what I do is I take the recorded sessions and I put those on the podcast. So if anyone that misses the meeting, they can still go back and see it or hear it. And then also, if you have any questions, just raise your hand. If you use your Zoom to raise your hand, and we'll be glad to call on you. But you want to stay muted unless you have a question or comment so we don't have any background noise as we go along. And then when you do speak, just say your name and where you are so everyone will know who you are and where you're located. And then just keep your comments, if you can, brief and to the point. We appreciate it, but we do want to hear from you. Just to give you an outline of what we'll be doing is we just went over the housekeeping items, but then the agenda, we always share scripture. We just do that in all of our meetings. And then we have a poem by Mr. Denzel Fleming, and he's actually someone we just interviewed a few days ago. We were so impressed with him that we asked him to repeat his poem today, and he agreed to do that. And then what we try to do is let everyone know, well, what is Every.Black? You know, how does that tie into this whole thing? How the project got started. And like I mentioned, I remember Dorian and Lance and a few others were at the table when we were talking about doing this. And then the objectives, the team, want to share with you the team, the people that have been working on this. Want to share with you how the revenue is split. I want to be upfront about everything. And then also where we are, our status. The press release that we sent out a few months ago, I want to share that with you and how you can access that. I want to talk to you about the media release, because if we use your likeness or interview, we want to make sure it's okay with you. And then also want to show you a sample podcast of how podcasting can generate funds, and the podcast that we set up for Mr. Dudley. And then also want to recognize our charter members that have become a part of the podcast and how you can become a charter member or other ways that you can help in this project. And then one of the things that we are always looking for, we call them celebrity endorsements or high profile endorsements or interviews to really help spread the message. And then some examples of how you can help. And then of course, how to reach us if you have any questions afterwards. So usually our meetings take about an hour, and we're pretty good with that time-wise. So one of the things, like I said, we always start off with is a scripture, and Olivia Robinson has prepared one for us. And Olivia.
Our scripture reading today is from James chapter 1, verse 17 from the New King James Version. Every good gift and every perfect gift comes from above and comes down from the Father of lights, with whom there is no variation or shadow of turning.
Thank you. Like I said, we just want to we like to do that, to always keep the, I guess, things on the right path, and so we don't forget who we are. But also, like I said, we met Denzel Fleming a few days ago. He's the director of creative services for Pixel Pushes LLC, and he is, I think, probably the wisest 28-year-old I've ever met. So he recited a poem for us, and I'm going to kill the presentation, and he agreed to repeat his poem for us. He's someone that Dr. Dudley has influenced. And so we try to bring on someone each meeting that has been impacted by Mr. Dudley. And so I'm going to stop this. And Kim, can we profile or highlight Denzel?
Hey everybody, how you feeling?
Great.
That's good. So my name is Denzel. I'm from Kinston, North Carolina. And Yeah, here's a poem. It's called The Days of Our Lives. Earlier today, the apple of my eye asked me, aren't you glad that you aren't under a strawberry because of 50 shots from a banana clip or in jail with a pair of citrus colored overalls on? Overall, I'm taken aback because for a skin tone to be apricot with a hint of vanilla extract, I wonder if she knows about Fruitvale Station. I would only expect her to know about scars from papaya or something like my high yellow melon and peach fuzz make me less susceptible to be stopped by the authorities or text back. I guess that all goes into the gutter when I'm surrounded by others whose skin tone description is jet black. See, black, by definition, is the color of coal, of ebony, of outer space. The darkest color that is the result of the lack of the complete absorption of light. See, the halo effect affects more than the crowd. We see the halo, but the man see the horn and hear loud music, so they clench their teeth. Canines and cavities. Canines and cavity searches with no warrants, only fallacies of disturbing the peace. That's ludicrous if you asking me. I have no limit to what I say to a master P. Oh, P, hold it down. Because as the world gets colder, I realize that it's cuffing season. And let me not say that before they draw their weapons and make me empty the Emmett Till. Before I wound up beaten, drug and burned in a general hospital while looking at the guiding light, young and restless as the world turns, I realize I have one life to live. So for all my children, my all I will give. These are the days of our lives. Thank you.
I enjoyed that. Wasn't that great?
Nice.
Yes.
Awesome.
Very nice.
Love it.
Well, now you can see.
Love it.
Yeah, I thought it was great too, and that's why we asked him to repeat that. And that's just an example of some of the people we've been meeting through these interviews. And it's just a very intelligent young man. Like I say, if you hear him speak or hear his interview, he's just one of the wisest young people I've run across. So I'm going to continue on, but just to tell you, well, what is Every.Black? And I've been, like many of you, mentored by Dr. Joel Dudley Sr., and he helped me to clarify what Every.Black is. And our mission is to educate, assist to educate, and inspire people to create wealth through entrepreneurship by leveraging technology, which is my background, and a strategy of global networking. And we do that through our website. We do that through social media, email blasts, technical training we provide to members, weekly mastermind meetings, podcasting. We help our members get on podcasting, and now on streaming TV on Roku and Amazon Fire Stick. And as a, I guess, mentee of Mr. Dudley, I was at his house, oh gosh, maybe a couple years ago now, before COVID. And I just noticed all the recordings. And if you've been to the house, you've seen them too. In the basement there, VHS tapes, cassettes, DVDs. I mean, they've got the Sony 3/4 inch. Robert Melvin told me they have reel to reel. They have SB Fuller recorded. And all of this, and I just asked Mr. Dunn, I said, you know, we want to preserve this because those tapes, and some of them are getting molded. And we, I say we, a team of us, we began analyzing, looking to see what he had. We figured he's got about 3,000 items to preserve, right? Speeches, graduations, going back 30, 40, 50 years. It's just a treasure trove of information that we just can't let be destroyed over time. So we proposed to him to digitize his work, and he agreed. And the benefits is to, like I said, to preserve it over time. It can be shared. All this great information can be shared over the internet through podcast and TV streaming now, in libraries. It could be used in museums. And the content, like I say, he's got every form of media over the years you can think of. He's recorded on everything, right? Photos, even the awards he's received. Some people don't realize how many awards he's received with all the photos that he has with notable people such as Nelson Mandela. I mean, the list is, and presidents, multiple presidents of the United States, the list goes on and on. And then the other thing we began doing is interviewing the people, a lot of you, that have been impacted by Mr. Dudley or the Dudley Company over the years, right? And so we wanted to preserve all of this and share this information with the world. Basically, that's what this project is about. And so people started stepping up to help help with this. And by the way, we've all done this to this point out of labor of love. Nobody's received a dime for any of the work we've been doing for over the last year and a half. But that's okay because we really believe in it. But I'm trying to list the people along the way that have been a part of this, helping to catalog and interview. And so somebody might want to put themselves on mute. I can't tell who it is. But anyway, the interviewers, Dr. Beverly Allen, Randolph Reed, Michelle Taylor, and then recently Dexy Vaught, Angela Wall, and Belinda Madujabea. I had to work on that name. Anyway, these people have been doing this on their own dime and time. And then we've got Nellie's been a huge help, and certainly Ella and my sister Kim and Catalina Cordu. We've all been putting in time, and then Chris Downey has edited about 18 of these interviews. But that's where we really need help, is the editing part, and I'll talk about that in a bit. Again, I just want to be completely upfront. The proposal that I submitted to Mr. Dudley is the revenue that's received from Patreon, 55% goes to Mr. Dudley to cover the cost of digitizing, and 45% goes to Every.Black, and that will be used to pay the people that's helping do this. So that's the agreement that we have. 55% goes to the cost of digitizing everything, and 45% goes to the people that's been helping on this project. But again, so far, no one's received anything. Like I say, we've cataloged about 300 items, about 100 awards and photos, conducted 185 interviews. That is outstanding. However, we've only edited 18 interviews, and that's where we need some help editing, but I'll talk about that in a bit. We've created a podcast for subscriptions. We are sharing it on the social media and email blast and mastermind meetings. We issued a national press release about this on March the 2nd. And also we're forming a nonprofit for the purpose of preserving other legacies as well. And so the press release that went out, you can get to it by going to Every.Black/Joe Dudley SR, Every.Black/Joe Dudley SR, and that will give you the press release, excuse me. And we want you to take a look at it, read it, and also share it so other people can know about the press release, identifying what it is that this project is about. And then the media release. Now, if anyone has been interviewed, we realize too that we really need a media release. That's just saying that you are giving us the authority to use your likeness, use your interview to promote this project. And that's the only thing we'll be using it for. And also to understand that there's no monetary compensation expected for that as well. And once you do that, and once we get it edited, then we can start putting that on the podcast. And the way you get there is by going to www.every.black/release. And you just fill out the form. And if you give us the okay, then we can put you in the pile to be edited, basically, right? This is a sample podcast. And the reason I went with podcasting is I saw what others were doing with podcasting and the monies that others were raising. And the idea is to get a lot of people to pay a little. And overall, you can actually bring in a significant amount of money. Right now, I just want to get at least 100 people to subscribe to the Joe Dudley podcast. Start off with 100, and we do at least $10 a month. That would go a long way in getting these shows edited, because it's going to cost money to get them edited. And also, it'll be also a good start to preserve the photos, preserve the media that he's already recorded on. It's got to be digitized, but it's just going to take some money. And so what we did, we set up a podcast. You can do at least $5 a month, $10 a month, $25 a month. And then that money will go towards editing and preserving. And for $25 a month, we're going to make those first $125 a month donations or subscribers, charter members. If you need help subscribing, you don't know how it works, and we're going to go through that after the end of this presentation. Don't we show you exactly what you do. But if you need help, you can also give me a call. I'd be glad to walk you through it. It's how it works. And again, we're just asking people to at least do $10 a month. If you think about it, $10 a month, you can't get a sandwich for $10. And so just $10 a month to help do your part in preserving this legacy. And that's one of the things we want to focus on now. We've done 185 interviews, right? 200 interviews not going to make it. What we really need now is to focus on getting subscribers to start doing editing. Now, the good news is we've already raised enough money to start on the editing. Okay, so we're going to be editing, and I spoke with Ella and Mr. Dudley, or through Ms. Ella this morning, and he's going to be releasing the funds we do have so we can start paying editors. I spoke with Chris Downey, who has done some of the editing, and he's agreed to, I don't know if he's on the call today or not, but he's agreed to start editing again. We're going to be paying him $75 for every interview that he does to edit the interviews. But we also realized we will need more interviewers or more editors over time. And several of you have mentioned that you have people that can also help with editing. The only thing is right now, we have to get more funds to pay more people, but we will want more editors. The other thing is that for editors, we don't want to just turn it loose for everybody to start editing, because if you have 5 people editing the interviews, you're going to have 5 different versions of how they look. So we want to make sure that it's a joint, we think it through jointly, but we do need editors that want to be a part of this. If you can, we'd more than appreciate them. And as the funds come in, we'll be paying more editors to do the work. But we do have to have it organized so we don't have having the interviews looking 5 different ways, or because every editor is going to be different unless you work on it together. And again, we want to highlight the gold charter members right now that we have: Sandra Lafayette and Sandra Miller Jones, Camille Lawrence, Mary McNeil, and Dr. Jackie Mayfield have all become charter members. So how can you help? How can we all help? One, just share this in your meetings. Tell people, you're all on Zoom meetings or face-to-face meetings now, things are opening up. Just tell people about the Joel Dudley Senior Legacy Project, and just tell them to go to the site, patreon.com/JoeDudleySR. Share it on your social media. We can all do that. Share it in any mailing lists. If you have a press release or newsletters or publications, just share it. Share it in your media outlets. Just help us get the word out, right? Introduce us to your network. We'd love to come in and talk to your group. If you let me, I'd love to come in and talk to them, tell them about the importance of this and what we're doing, and to see if they can also be a part of this. You can record a video endorsement so we can share that endorsement on our social media. You can share it on your own social media. You can help us to get more celebrity or high profile endorsements, right? Subscribe to the podcast. That's a great way we can all start from, again, just $10 a month. And then also get others to subscribe to patreon.com/JoeDudleySR. And when we first put this list up, we had celebrity interviews and endorsements we're seeking. And I put the names that we're starting to cross off because we've gotten Dr. George Fraser interviewed. We've gotten this Eunice Dudley interviewed, Lafayette Jones, Dr. Jackie Mayfield, and Martin Dunkerton, who's a filmmaker and director. So we want to cross off all these names. We want to get all these names interviewed because they all have ties to Mr. Dudley throughout the years, one way or the other. So if you have connections with these people, please let us know so we can make that connection and reach out to them and get them, and also maybe some others that are not on this list. That's great too. But if you know of someone that you can get us in touch with that would be glad to do an interview for this project, we would love to talk to them. Okay. And what I wanted to do is just highlight some of the people. And I start off with Mrs. Dudley because she is the co-founder of the Dudley Products Company. And, I don't want to slight her in the least. It's just that I asked Mr. Dudley because I have the relationship with him. I got to know him much better. I know Mrs. Dudley, but know him much better going to mastermind meetings week after week. But we realized too that there needs to be another legacy project for some of these other people that we've interviewed, including, especially Mrs. Dudley. We've interviewed Dr. George C. Frazier. He should have a legacy project. I don't know if he does or not. Martin Dunkerton, who we interviewed, who did the produced the movie that Mr. Dudley is in, Awaken Your, what was the title? Awaken Your Millionaires. I can't remember the exact title of it. But anyway, he was the producer and he was glad to be interviewed. Mr. Lafayette Jones, who's known Mr. Dudley for probably 40, 50 years, going back to the Chicago days with SMSI, he and his wife. And then we just interviewed Dr. Jackie Mayfield out of Beaumont, Texas, who owns the largest Black-owned income tax service. 250, I don't know how many satellite offices they have. But these people also need to be preserved, their legacies need to preserve. And that's where we actually have a shoot off of this whole project that we didn't even think about 2 years ago. But our legacies.org, is going to be headed up by my sister, Kim Davy-Smith, is going to do that along with Shelley Sheen. She's been helping her, and she's already got a nonprofit set up just to document the legacies of our heroes and sheroes. But it just kind of all started with this Joe Dudley Legacy Project, but we realized there are others that we need to document as well. And so this is really the template, the beta for a number of others to come. And so one of the things that we did, we reached out to Brother Sam Tate, and these are the things that we can all do to help. He has a radio, the Gospel Gems radio show, and I don't know how many stations he's on now all over the country. Mr. Tate, can you tell us how many you have? I don't know. Do you want to say anything? You have to take yourself off mute. I see you talking, but you're on mute. Well, I'm going to play this while you get. There you go.
We're on about 75 stations, plus the World Wide Web.
Wow. So we prepared a few commercials. He says 75 stations plus the internet, World Wide Web. So we prepared a few commercials that he's going to air. And
greetings, America. This is Every.Black, and you're listening to Gospel Gems Radio with Brother Sam Tate, bringing you the very best in spiritual and gospel music, where God is groovy, Jesus is jamming, and the people are the stars of the show. So tune in, and I guarantee that you will be blessed beyond measure.
Now that's a shout out we did for him, and what he's going to do is that's Dexy Bought, who, by the way, from Texas, who did those, and everybody loves her voice and the way she does these. So we're going to play a few others for you.
Suffering with a speech impediment, labeled mentally retarded, and held back in the first grade, Dr. Joe L. Dudley Sr. defied all the odds and became one of the most influential health and beauty industry icons the world has ever seen. Be motivated, encouraged, and inspired as you listen to how one man turned his struggles into strategies and his shortcomings into success. Listen to his legacy at www.patreon.com/Joe Dudley Sr. That's www.patreon.com/Joe Dudley Sr. The Dr. Joe L. Dudley Sr. Legacy Project is sponsored by Every.Black, no .net, and no .com. Just Every.Black. .black is the new .com.
So we got a few others we're going to play for you, so you can just see what we're going to be airing.
The Dr. Joe L. Dudley Sr. Legacy Project is currently underway to document the legacy and lifetime impact of this legendary businessman, haircare entrepreneur, and humanitarian. Tune in to hear the stories of how one man trained, mentored, and impacted the lives of thousands. Visit www.patreon.com/Joe Dudley Sr. and be inspired to walk by faith and make your own dreams come true. The Dr. Joe L. Dudley Sr. Legacy Project is sponsored by Every.Black, no .net, and no .com. Just Every.Black. .black is the new .com.
Yeah, we got one more for you. Lex did a great job on these, I thought.
Join author of Walking by Faith, I Am, I Can, and I Will, Dr. Joe L. Dudley Sr., as he discusses his successful entrepreneurial recipe and secrets to success. Dudley uses his own life story to show you how to walk by faith and make your own dreams come true. Listen to his legacy at www.patreon.com/Joe Dudley Sr. That's www.patreon.com/Joe Dudley Sr. The Dr. Joe L. Dudley Sr. Legacy Project is sponsored by Every.Black. No .net and no .com, just Every.Black. .black is the new .com.
So anyway, so those an example of just how we can all help, and actually any of you, we can all share those commercials if you like. Also want to mention Nikki Wright. I don't know if she's on the call this today or not. I can't see everyone, but she is has Beauty Superstars, and she is also reaching out to people that she knows, celebrity hairstylists, to get interviews or testimonials for this project. And then I mentioned Lafayette Jones again earlier. He actually ran a column. He authors a column in the OTC Beauty magazine, and this particular issue was dedicated to the project and to the family, the Dudley family. And even he's offered to create an entire issue, Urban Crawl issue, devoted to this project. So that's another example of what we're all doing. And then I mentioned too, streaming TV, which we're just getting into now, where we will be posting. We have another way to post these interviews and get the word out about this particular project. And this will be on Fire Stick, Amazon Fire Stick, and Roku, with an audience of up to 160 million people. So what I want to do at this time is I put in contact information there, but also I want to do at this time is I want to stop the presentation. We can pull it back up. But I want to go to the website so you can see exactly what it takes to log in. And also, I spoke with Tim Johnson earlier, and Tim, I'm gonna give you a few time if you say a few words or share a few words. I got to plug in for the power goes that big.
Hey guys, I hope you all are doing wonderful today. I am Tim Johnson, and I am a part of the legacy as far as my life has been touched, and my industry has been touched in the industry as can you hear me good?
Yes, we can hear you. We can't see you though, but we can hear you.
Oh,
It's all right.
That's all right.
Let me see where I'm at. Hold on 1 second. It might be a divine setup. I don't know, but let me see. Okay. See, the light is behind me, so.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
that's okay. That's okay. We got it. Yeah.
Is that good, you guys?
Yeah, it's good. No, that's good.
Okay, cool. I am Tim Johnson, and I'm proud to be a part of this. This is something that's spectacular for me. I'm honored to be a part of this, and honestly, I love when you said, Jimmy, about if you got any like celebrity influence people that you think would be good to be interviewed, with the countless interviews that you have actually captured so far. And a lot of us that are on here, possibly that are listening right now, have been the individuals whose lives have been touched and have been interviewed to be a part of this legacy, to be a part of something as dynamic as this. We are the celebrities. You are a celebrity from wherever your influence is, your point of influence, however God uses you, whatever it is that you are believing for in your life, and then for God to be able to position you in a place where someone who's actually been a part of your journey, to be able to be a angelic part of it, to guide you and to aid you to go whatever direction it was that you went, and you experienced some kind of success. A lot of times whenever these things happen, it's kind of easy to take for granted how dynamic that was, and whenever you're asked to be a part of something great like this, you don't want to wait until something has happened, until that individual has moved on, before you actually realize how stupendous that relationship was. Of course, if you're walking in comparison, you might look at the fact that you might look at something and say that I my journey is not as big as that one, or my experience is not as huge as that individual, but you are important. You don't know how much something like this could actually change a generation to come. Okay. Yeah. And it could change someone's life that you have nothing to do with right now, but because of the fact that you took part in it and you played your part in it and your role in it as a partner in some kind of way, it actually caused it to continue to resonate even after you. Um, I just want to, I'm honored that you able to, that you, Jimmy, you and your sister Kim were, considered even allowing me to speak and talk about how imperative it is for us to connect with this without someone having to push, beg, borrow, or steal from us to become a part of something in such a minor way. And when I say that, I'm saying that from the standpoint of a $25 donation. And all you're getting back is you're getting back the capability of it to continue. You get what I'm saying? You have access to all of the life-changing testimonies and the stories. I'm gonna tell you this right now, in where we are in society, in today's time, what causes value to be brought to a person's business or a name is what the testimony has to say about it. I'm talking about what did an individual say about their experience with that person. You know, you don't even go to a restaurant these days without checking a review. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So if you check a review, that establishes the weight and the credibility of me saying I'm going to go there, even though I might not know all that's on the menu. I'm going to go because they said they had all fives. Well, my friend Mr. Dudley has all fives. Okay, he has all fives, and a lot of you guys that are sitting here looking at us and listening to this right here, you have nothing but fives.
That's right. That's right.
So with those fives and with those testimonies and those experiences that you've had, and some of you have fives based upon an extension of the relationship of someone that you're dealing with that dealt with him. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Like for example, if you would ask me about my review with Mr. Fuller, I would have to give Mr. Fuller fives. I've never met Mr. Fuller in person, but because of what has happened with Mr. Dudley's life, and how Mr. Dudley has touched my life, hey, I gotta give Mr. Fuller a five. Okay. So my reason for saying that is today, let's all make sure that we make an integrity decision to be able to partake in this adventure, this vision that Jimmy and his sister and the Dudley family has, set to put out there by contributing our $25. And it's very easy. If you look over in your chat and if you look over there and you see where she even has a hyperlink, help us preserve the legacy of a legendary entrepreneur of, not, I would change that, say not of a, because of a means that we don't know him. We might be hearing of him, of the legendary entrepreneur of Mr. Joe Dudley. You know what I'm saying? Let's do that by clicking that link. Once you click that link, Jimmy, can you show up on your screen what it looks like when they click
Sure.
this? And it's extremely easy, guys. It's extremely easy. And thank you guys for establishing this call with the Zoom, with prayer, and with establishing the weight of God's glory in this. But this is a glory. This is a sign and a wonder. Okay, the word of God says signs and wonders shall follow them that believe. Mr. Joe Dudley believes, okay? And not only does he believe, he's been believing since they told him as a young lad, they told his mom that he was mentally retarded. His mother believed, he believed. And this is a sign and a wonder that we have the capability to be able to partake. If you go here and you see where it says the selected membership level, okay? Now, for those who don't know him, the friends and somebody else, I can imagine them doing a $5. But for you who know that you know that you know, that you've experienced him, you've probably been at the big house, you probably have shaken his hand, he's done something, he's encouraged you. $25, a mere $25 a month. I like to look at this not as a subscription, not as a membership, as a partnership. If you did a $25 a month, well, you'll be able to hear his speeches and hear some of these things, especially guys, if you are a person of influence that you are relied upon to change the generation that you influence. This is something that I think that it would be very beneficial, as well as it would be looked upon as a seed that you're sowing, and you're going to get it right back. Okay, let's sow the seed of joining the partner as a partner for $25 a month. And I don't know what your financial status is, but $10, $5, wherever it is, that's whatever's on your heart. The word of God said, every man according to as he purposeth in his heart, so let him give, not grudgingly or of necessity, For God loveth a cheerful giver. You're not just giving, you're actually getting when you do this. You get access to it. And I love some good motivation. I love some good motivation and, you know, soul stirring stories. I'm a storyteller. So I love it. So Jimmy, I'd like to say thank you so much for you guys putting this together. But when they click that $25 a month, what goes on when they click there?
Yeah, when you click there, you do have to create an account. Walks you through where you put in your name. You can actually sign up through Google or Facebook, or you can just put in your name, an email, and a password.
Absolutely.
And the next step, it'll ask you for your how you want to pay. And then from that point on, once you come to the site, I'll show you, if you don't pay, this is what you'll see. We put a few things. Oh, there's a welcome message from Mr. Dudley that we recorded. He tells you about, the importance of this. And as you scroll down a little bit, you'll start to see the interviews. Now, some things we put on there for free so people can see what it's about. But what will happen is you'll see this where it says unlock this post by becoming a patron. And so once you become a patron, then you won't see that message. You'll just see the interview. And I tell you, these interviews are inspirational. They're educational. You learn how did they handle this particular problem in their business 40 years ago, 20 years ago. There's lessons that you can apply to your business today. And Kim can tell you, they're really, some will make you shout, some will make you cry. These stories are amazing. And I just want to mention too, just one story that I'm thinking of as Tim Johnson was speaking. One thing he shared with us, he said that he and his wife, I think, went to lunch, and when he got back, Mr. Dudley was sitting in front of their salon. They weren't expecting him. They didn't even know that he knew who they were, but he just heard about them, and he just showed up and came in and talked to his staff for like an hour. If I'm right, am I telling it right, Tim?
You're telling it absolutely right.
Yeah.
You're telling it absolutely right. And guys, never in 1,000 years, because honestly, I had been to the advanced training at Dudley University. I have been on the campus. I have I've seen the shows. I've had experiences with the sales reps. I've had positive impact from some of the sales teams from times past who actually changed my life with the way they operated, who they were a lineage of the training of Mr. Dudley himself personally. And all of this stuff that had happened, it was almost like a operation of excellence that I had only, felt from, experiences on the campus and in the business. But then when he showed up in my parking lot, my wife and I, we came back and we were like, that man looked like Mr. Dudley. And it was Mr. Dudley. And honestly, so you guys know I'm single parent raised, only child. So my mother did an awesome job with instilling in me principles of value of manners and respect and different things like that. But whenever you meet a gentleman who came and all he wanted to say to me is that I had to see you myself, and I want to let you know you're doing a good job and I'm proud of you. That spoke volumes to me. And it stirred me up to continue. And I had already been in the industry about 29 years at that time. I'm 33 years now in the industry. I own my own hair product line right now. I have 14 products in my line. I train and I develop stylists all over the country. I've had the opportunity to work with the Bronner Brothers. I was the spokesperson for the Bronner Brothers show in Atlanta, Georgia. So I mean, I used to get kicked out of class for running my mouth and talking. Now I get paid to talk now. So, long story short, guys, I'm just honored to be able to talk about this. So, let's do something. Let's all agree that we're going to agree to do this. Go ahead, Jim. Jimmy, I'm sorry.
Only other thing I was going to say too. Now, those are the recommended, but there's also an option once you click on the join. If you want to give more, then that's fine too. You can customize your gift, and there's no long-term commitment. There's just no long-term commitment, so don't feel like you're locked in for a year or something like that. It's as long as you're willing to help out, then you can do that. It allows you to do that, and if you feel for whatever reason you feel like you have to stop, then you can stop. But I'm telling you, the lessons you learn from this, I just can't explain it. But in order to get the stories on here, we need the editors. And to get the editors, we need the donations. And we're at that point now. We've got the stories. We've got the content. We need it. edit it and prepare so we can post it and for others to hear and see these stories. I'm gonna stop sharing that, but is there anyone else that'd like to share anything? And I know I didn't give him any warning, but I see my brother Lance Jones Sr. is on the line, and Lance or Dorian, the good friends of mine, would either of you care to share anything? Since you guys were at the table when we first talked about this. Lance or Dorian?
Yeah, Jimmy, thanks for the invite on the call, man. This is awesome. I remember sitting down with.
This is unmuted if you like to use it.
We can hear you.
Yeah, I remember sitting down at the table having this discussion. The years are going so fast right now, so I know it was a few years ago now, but this is an awesome project. You know, I came into be a part of the organization. It's been about almost 6 years now, and it's been very impactful on my life, my business, growth, and where it's going now. Really pushing now outside of the country, and I owe all of that to the mastermind meetings and the influence of Mr. Dudley. So this is an awesome project. And what I found most interesting is I came in just 6 years ago, but Mr. Dudley has impacted generations. And so I'm on another generation, and it's more generations to come. So the project itself will not only achieve as it has thus far, Mr. Dudley has the folks he's impacted thus far, but for generations to come. So this is an awesome project, very much needed and right. We need to also do this for others as well after we get Mr. Dudley's project done. So thank you for having me, and this is definitely an awesome vision that came out of you. So appreciate all the work you're doing and the folks that are part of your organization.
No, thank you, Dorian.
Dorian, I'm sorry, Jimmy. I'd like to say something too, and I'd like to thank Dorian for that information. And I have to say, this is Kim Davies Smith, and I have to say that Dr. Dudley is the gift that keeps on giving. This project is now opening doors to all kind of other projects, and one being our legacies. Our legacies is like Jimmy explained, it will be a nonprofit foundation where we'll be able to document legacies of all sorts of African American people of African descent, including yourselves. So we're just now getting off the ground, but August 1st is our launch date. So I'm super excited. And also I want to thank Ms. Shelley Skeen that's on this call right now, if she'd like to come off mute, because I know she's already put in the chat, Jimmy, that she's going to be talking to Stedman, Oprah Winfrey, to get in touch with Oprah, and also Roland Martin. So I'm super excited. This gift opens up doors for other gifts. So Tim Johnson, we need your legacy. You're right. We need to be able to preserve the legacies of our people of African descent, because it's important to pass this information down through the generations. And this is the kind of gift that Dr. Dudley provides. His project is spinning off other ones. This is a Dr. Dudley project, and who knew that it would be spinning off opportunities in a nonprofit to be able to do legacies of other African American people. So, Shelley, I wanted to give you the floor and see if you wanted to add anything to the meeting today.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. This is Shelley Skeen from High Point, North Carolina. It gives me great pleasure, as always, to be here with the Every.Black family, and I'm excited to share in this effort. Such just a great project. There's really nothing to add to that. You all hit that on the head, and I'm just here to reiterate the fact that certainly I'm doing my part, and we want to encourage everybody to do their part. It has just been a busy, as Kim and I have worked together trying to get this foundation submitted to the state there where she is to ensure that it's right and done right the first time. So it is just the least of things that I can do to assist and walk with her on that project. We're excited. We're above and beyond excited. We're trying to keep our cool together, right?
I know,
like
right.
two kids getting ready for Christmas or something. I don't know. It's just excitement all over us. But certainly I am doing my part as I'm sitting here listening. I totally forgot to reach out, Jimmy, and I'm sending emails now as we speak. I'm sitting here now and sending emails to Mr. Stedman Graham because he calls into Dr. Robert Brown's office daily, and I just totally forgot to do that. So I'm doing that now. And I'm sending another email out to not Jackie, Roland Martin's person, but also to his other traffic manager. And so I did that while we've been on this call since 6 o'clock.
Well, thank you.
So we're excited about doing our part, each and every one individually. And of course, we just echo the sentiments of everyone on the call that is shared. So we're looking forward to it, and you all will see us. We're going to push for our August 1st launch with the Our Legacy Foundation, which will do what? Legitimately bring the celebrities in, right? Because they worry about that tax deduction. We know that, right? Their heart is there, but they do need that tax deduction, as does everybody. And so with that, that's what Kim and I are going to be focusing on the next few days.
Well, thank you. And I completely overlooked, but I don't know how I did that. Dr. Robert Brown, who Shelley works with, we interviewed him as well. And if you don't know him, he's one of those people that he's behind the scenes, but trust me, oh my gosh, what hasn't he done? He was worked with the FBI, bringing down the mafia. He was an assistant to President Nixon. He was instrumental in getting Nelson Mandela out of jail. I mean, it's just, the list goes on and on the things that he's done. So we definitely appreciate being able to interview him for this project as well. And he's a close friend of Mr. Dudley's. He was instrumental in getting Mr. Dudley into the Racial Algae Award recipient. Mr. Brown got in first and helped Mr. Dudley get in. So it's those types of stories that we just want to preserve. Does anyone else have anything to say? I see Lance or Stan Anderson or anyone else that wants to say
Jimmy
something.
Davis, this is Sharon Hill Withers. I wanted to say, while we were on the call, I did exactly, you listen, I follow instructions real good. I clicked on the link and I was having trouble logging in from my other account. So I just clicked on log in with Google.
Okay.
And then it sent me to what particular subscription I wanted. And of course, after listening to our wonderful speaker who said, listen, if you know Mr. Dudley has impacted your life, you know, $25 a month is really nothing to, you know, be a partner. So I went ahead and clicked the $25 a month subscription and I put in my card information. Now, Jimmy, I know that you have had this particular meeting several times.
Mm-hmm.
I had the intention each time to get off and go and do the subscription. And then Sharon's life kicked in and I just completely forgot. So I don't know if anybody else is on the call like me, but if you can do it while you on the call right now, you can go ahead and get it out the way. It's done. You know you're a partner. You're helping the legacy. And then that way, if you get off the call, you don't have to say, oh, I forgot, or, oh, I can't, because that was me. I have 10 children. My husband have 10 kids together. I promise you, life kicks in when I get off the call. So I was like, I better do this right now, because if I get off the call, I'm going to get tied up. I'm going to forget. Then I'm going to, you know, and I have done that each time. And I was like, wow, I should have done this long time ago, made promises on the phone to do it. Long time ago. And I was like, wait a minute, Sharon, ain't no time like the present. Let's do it right now. Check the box on it. And that way we know it's done. So I just want to encourage anybody that's on the call today, put in the chat when you get your congratulations. You've now subscribed, whatever level you subscribe to, and be a partner, because I am.
Sharon Hill, I just want to tell you that you are fired up. And whenever you said that, I was just getting ready to say before you said that, I was going to say, you know what, let's not skip to the loop and keep on going past this right now. While we are here and while we're active with 28 people that are on this live, let's go on and make it our business. They're going to handle our business right now. Okay. And Sharon, that was really inspiring what you said. Sister girl said she got 10 children. Come on now, 10 children between she and her husband. And you guys know as well as I do, you know, things begin to happen. As soon as we say, thank you guys for coming on, you go right on and get you a piece of chicken. It's Sunday, you got leftover dinner, or whatever it is you're doing. Right. Come on, let's go on and make it our business. Let's handle our business now. And this is not, it doesn't stop with us. We got a whole generation. She said she got 10 children. I have 2 teenagers. I have a son that's at North Carolina A&T. We have to instill in them the importance of Black wealth, not just Black wealth, but Black influence. You got people that are up online shaking their hind parts, doing everything they can do, and they making money. And all we're talking about is just a measly $25 plus. Some of us could do $100 plus. Some could do $50 plus. But wherever you are wherever you are, let's go ahead on and activate now. Let's get activated right now. Let's not put it off. Let's get activated. It ain't nobody begging you. It ain't nobody pulling no teeth. We just want to get you fired up, because this right here, my friends, is more than some interviews. Okay? It's more than some interviews. And Mr. Dudley has proven to most of us, I don't know how many on here he's older than. But I'm telling you this, he's 80 what, Mr. Davis?
He's 84. He's 84
At
now.
84 years old, I want to be kicking and setting stuff up and still speaking and setting. Baby, so into that so that you can make sure you have the same type of effect until your last day. You get what I'm saying? Until your last day. You know, we got baby boomers that he's inspired. You ain't old. You ain't played out, you ain't dead, and you ain't dying. Come on, let's get it together. Let's go and put our money where our mouth is. Go ahead and pull that credit card out. I don't care if you got a prepaid card. Pull it on out. Do it. If you ain't got no card on, ask Mr. Davis, how can I mail it in? Whatever that you can do. You know what I'm saying? Am I right about it? Am I right about it? Okay. In God we trust, all others must pay cash. So I'm Tim Johnson, and I approve that message.
All right. Also, I just want to note too, I see Mrs. Dudley is on the call. I just want to, if she'd care to say anything, or Mr. Dudley.
Well, I got on a few minutes ago. This is Eunice Dudley, and I'm just very impressed and highly enthused over those that I had the opportunity of seeing and hearing their comments. So I got on during the time that Tim Johnson was speaking. And I don't even know where Tim's salon is, or if he got several, what cities they're in, or what state they're in. But I'm very happy to hear him, hear his enthusiasm for the program. And like he said, it is worth preserving.
Yes.
I see Sam Tate's face on here. I see Dawn Gibson. I saw Sharon a few minutes ago. Just so happy to see the work that's being done. It is so very much needed. And so I will be helping to encourage others to participate in the gift giving as well as the sharing with the interviews. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And I see also, I think I see
I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm from the good old country. Okay, Raleigh, North
Raleigh, okay.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, Mr.
Now
Davis.
tell your son or daughter, whomever is at A&T, come by the Dudley Beauty School downtown so I can see them eyeball to eyeball.
You ain't got to worry about it. I'm gonna bring him myself, his 19-year-old self, and he's a very distinguished young man, and he's doing extremely well. I will bring him myself so he can shake your hand. We're gonna take some pictures.
That's great. Be glad to see you.
Thank you.
I was gonna say I see Officer Phil Taylor on with 17 Biblical Principles of Success. Is that Phil? Or anyone else like to make a comment?
Hey.
Yes, I heard someone.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, and who is this?
This is Phil.
Oh, okay.
Could you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I'm having some technical issues here, but it's such a privilege and a joy to be amongst you and to do what I can to support this good cause. So God bless you all. And Jimmy, David, just everybody, you're doing a great job. And I'm with you.
You see the 17 biblical
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, Phil's behind that, and Mr. Dudley, I think, is on CD number
Right, Tim.
12. It's either 12 or 8. I don't know, but I know he's on one with wisdom. I remember that.
It's on wisdom. It's on wisdom. Very
Yes.
fitting for Mr. Dudley.
Yes.
Yeah. Great. Thank you.
Anyone else? Like I said, I'm trying to be respectful of your time, but we're going to do this each month to keep you updated on what's going on with this project. And with your donations, like I said, next month, I'm sure we'll be able to say that we've got so many new interviews that are online, because everybody asks, they get interviewed and they say, well, when's my interview going to be on the podcast? Well, your interview will be on the podcast once we raise some money to get your interview on the podcast. And so this is what we're doing today. We realize we need to focus on, and not just us, but also reaching out to people you know. It's really important. This message needs to get out to the world. It really does. So reach out to the people you know. Share the link. Sign up and get as a subscriber on the podcast, and let's just make it happen.
Jimmy, I'd like to discuss with you after this is over. If there's some kind of way that we can create some kind of email generator type of thing. If we can create like I don't even care if it's a landing page of some sort that shows exactly the flyer for this or whatever it is that you're doing, that way we can get them on in, and it'll take them straight to how they can be a part of it. And that way we can send it out to the emails of everybody who's on here. And if everybody could actually take a pledge of responsibility where that they could actually, if we say I pledge to send it out to the people that I influence. I don't care if it's just on your Facebook. I don't care if it's in your email list. Make it where it could be text, if we can text it out, but where they could actually see, if we can create some kind of 30 or 60-second teaser or something like that as to what, this whole project is about. That way, when people see it, they can turn around and say, wow, yeah, I need to be a part of that.
Yeah. I think
because it wasn't until I talked to you, Jimmy, that you blew me away with this whole project and what you and your sister are doing. I think we owe it to Jimmy and Kim that they're doing a spectacular job with this.
And the rest of them. It's not just, but yeah.
Well, your team, you and your team.
Yes.
Because it takes a team, a theme, and a dream.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It takes those three things, and you're doing an awesome job. I mean, kudos to you guys. But
thank you. But no, I'd love to talk to you and anyone else that has some ideas on how to move this forward. I know Mr. Tate's going to get me in touch with someone at North Carolina Central that may get some editors from the students, from the student program there. So again, I just want to wind up is Mr. Dudley, if you'd like to say anything, or Ella, I don't know if you're there.
I do see Ella on, and I also wanted to just tell everybody thanks so much for there's some awesome people contributing their time of love in this project. Really it is. So here's Dr. Dudley, I see.
Wow, this is so exciting. I mean, so joyful. And Jimmy, what you're doing with your team and all of you on here, I'm just so pleased with it. And I don't know, I almost speechless. And I wasn't feeling the best this morning, but this wake got me really going.
All right.
To see people thinking much of this project as I do, is so pleasing, because our people need uplifting. They need to see what people have done and what they're doing. I just think, Robert Melvin, I think this is so wonderful, and for what's really going on. I had a chance to talk to John Ray, his wife, and see the joy that he's so excited about. Man, that is so awesome. So we had Dr. Jackie Mayfield and all the people that's come out of that organization, being able to help make this thing happen. So I just want to say thank you, and thank all of you for the great work that you are doing. So, Brother Lance, oh my goodness, you're an awesome man for the things you've done. Thank all of you for this team. Wow.
Well, thank you, Dr. Dudley. We just all
Brother
folks.
Jimmy,
Yes.
I have the great fortune of being here with Mr. Dudley. But I just want to say, yeah, I was 6 years ago when this was just a dream. I'm proud to see that dream at that time in your mind, not just a vision, but was given purpose. And we were able to make it manifest, a manifest reality for all to see and engage in. That's kind of the entire philosophy, in my opinion, of what Mr. Dudley taught us all. We read it in Napoleon Hill's books. We read it in his books. Something put in our mind and worked with definiteness of purpose to bring it into reality. I've done that with my business. You've done this with what you're doing here now and other things. Certainly, okay. Brother, our other partner there is Charlotte. So I just thank all of you. I'm just proud. I'm happy to be a part of this, and we'll do all I can to make sure we can make it stronger and better.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Lance.
Brother Dorian as well.
Yeah, Dorian Carter.
And Dr. Willie Bailey.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, goodness. What a man.
Hello, Jimmy. It's Melvin here, if you can hear me on that end.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Of course, this week I want to go on and pay a full year on the $10 per month. So I want to go on and pay mine in advance and have that done.
Okay. Super.
As I look at this project, they say there've been so many people in our history, great people who've come and gone, and the other people have told their story. And sometimes they don't tell it quite right. But I'm so happy. I was so happy when you got in contact with Dudley Products. And I just know that you are the man to tell the story. The approach that you've taken, you've already committed thousands of dollars worth of work into this. I've seen you. I saw you do it downstairs. I've been just watching you, and I'm just deeply moved to know that you are carrying on and telling the story, because the Dudley story and the speeches on this program, they are these are messages for the masses. It's always been that way. All the way back, I worked under Mr. Fuller. I've been with Dudley Products 52 years now. I call myself one of the founding employees. I was in the first draft. But Mr. Fuller's message has always been for everybody whosoever will. And Mr. Dudley's message is for whosoever will. So I know that this program will touch a lot of people. And I'm just grateful today. I'll be in touch with you Monday morning to go on and get this taken care of. And thank you very much.
Sure, thank you. This is great.
Thank you, Robert.
Yes,
what a man.
Yes. One last little comment, just the last comment I'd like to make. Those large videos we're going to be reviewing, we have a lot of guest speakers like Judge Fry and Nito Cabine, the Vice President, all have spoken here. So there are also speeches by a lot of other dignitaries that'll be showing up on those videos. I was here during the recording, so I happen to know that they're on there, So thank you very much, and I'm out of your way here.
Well, thank you. And Mr. Melvin actually is keeping the recordings of S.B. Fuller and some of those real. He has the access to all of that information, and so we just realized we just want to preserve it.
Yes.
So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, yours for the asking. Matter of fact.
Thank you so much. Well, I'm going to, like I said, be respectful of everyone's time, but we just want to thank you so much for being a part of this and stepping up. Feel free to reach out to me or my sister Kim. I see she put her email address in the chat. And anything that you can do to help, we'd be glad to talk to your groups. Just share the message, and of course, subscribe. So again, I'm just going to say thanks to everyone, and we will be doing this again next month. I'm going to give you a date here. We usually try the last Sunday of the month. So what is that? Just give you a date so you can know ahead of time. What's the last Sunday, Kim?
The last Sunday is the 29th.
Okay, August 29th.
Let me make sure. Yes, August the 29th.
Okay,
and
so we're planning August 29th at 6 p.m. again. We just want to do a monthly update. Keep you informed what's going on. Okay.
Hey, Jimmy, if we can, let's go ahead and make it a goal that within a month, let's have at least 100 people subscribe by that. You do. I think it'd be very appropriate to set a goal,
Yes.
and let's outdo ourselves. So that means that, if we take the responsibility of at least, getting 10 people to be a part of that, we'll be able to blow the socks off of this whole vision. So
absolutely,
if we're looking at 28, we had up to 30 people on this Zoom. So if 30 of us took the responsibility of getting 10 people, that means that we could easily get 300 people to register to be a subscriber. So that way we can go ahead on and move this project along, put some, action to our faith.
That would be super. I think that's a great idea. So let's make that the goal for 100 subscribers by the next meeting, which is August the 29th.
And just remind everybody about the release form, very important, so that once they're edited, we can get them up on the podcast for the Dr. Joel Dudley Legacy Project. Very important that you complete your media release form.
And we'll post this entire meeting has been recorded. We'll post this on the podcast. It'll be free to view, so anyone missing the meeting can at least check it out and see what they've missed and be informed. Okay. So, yes.
No, listen, I just wanted to chime in and say, of course, how excited I am as well with everyone else here. And it's so good to see Mr. Dudley and, of course, to hear Mrs. Dudley's voice and everyone who I recognize, and then those of you who I don't. And I just want to give a shout out to Miss Ella. Her birthday is coming up Friday. If she doesn't mind me saying that, if we could all just say happy upcoming birthday to her. And she'll have that birthday before we come back on for our next meeting. So just wanted to give that shout out. And
happy
birthday, Ella.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Miss Ella.
And I tell you, Miss Ella, she oh my gosh, she's on it. We have trouble with getting someone for the interview. We just let Ella know, and before you know it, they're ready to get scheduled for the interview. So she's on the case. We'd appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone.
So, well, I'm gonna say thank you all for being a part of this. I'm really excited, really. So, thank you for all. If we all do a little, we can take this thing far. So I'll do a little bit. So, everybody have a good Sunday evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Peace and blessings, everybody. Peace.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you.